Hello and welcome to this presentation by INE on how to use our rack rental system for your CCNA and your CCNP certification preparation process. My name is Keith Bogart and I will be your instructor for this set of videos. So let me talk a little bit about why I created this set of videos and what I hope you will get out of it by watching them and then applying them. So number one, I clearly want to help you with our rack rental system for your CCNA and CCNP studies. And I want to also provide you some suggested guidelines on how to use the system. In other words, I recognize that a resource, a tool for your certification studying is no good if you don't know how to use that tool or if you feel intimidated by that tool. So my hope is that after watching this short series of videos here, you'll feel very comfortable using our rack rental system to prepare, to study and get more familiar with Cisco iOS commands and how to configure and troubleshoot and verify the various things that Cisco wants you to know for their certification exams. So that's my overall goal. Now, whether you choose to use INE rack rentals is completely up to you, but I don't want you to not use it just because you're afraid of it, because you're intimidated by it, because you don't know how it works. I want to get you past all that so you're informed and you can decide, okay, I know how to use the system, I know all the bells and whistles, I know what it does, now I can decide if it'll be useful for me or not. So that's my overall arching objective right here. And then the second point, the second bullet point there, you might think, okay, great, I've got this rack that's available to me of equipment. Now I know how to get into it. Now I know how to schedule it. I know how to, clear it out and get it set to factory defaults. But what exactly do I use it? How do I use this resource? What's the best way to use my time? Because in reality, if you use our rack rentals, you are paying for it, right? It's not a free resource. You have to pay for your time. So you want to be very effective and efficient with that time. And so this next section here, in the last section, I'm going to go over some ways as to what you can do in advance before that clock starts ticking, before you start paying that money, what you can do in advance so you're set up and you're prepared to be efficient, to use that time as effectively as possible. And I have 3 ways that you can use our racks to be efficient and effective. So I will talk about that. So what's the agenda? Well, I'm not going to go through each of these bullets because you can clearly read these on your own, but each one of these is going to be a separate video in this section. So these are all the things I'm going to talk about, starting with why would you use rack rentals in the first place? Not just INE's rack rentals, but anyone's rack rentals. What's the benefit? Why do it? I'll start there, and then we'll talk about all the logistics about how to actually use the system. What's everything you can click on? What are all the things that you can do? And then, like I mentioned, I'll finish up with some examples of here's some ways you could use it in your studying to be efficient, effective, and productive. Now, in this particular course, there really is no prerequisite knowledge. I'm assuming that maybe we haven't even started studying for your CCNA yet. That's perfectly okay. The only prerequisite knowledge is that you know how to use a computer, you know how to access the internet, which clearly you do because you're watching this set of videos. Other than that, there's really nothing else that you need to know. Now, questions and answers. I'm hoping that by the time I'm done with this set of videos, you'll feel very comfortable using our system, scheduling it and using it. But in the event that I missed something, or in the event that maybe something I said is still a little bit confusing for you, by all means, feel free to reach out to me with any questions you have. You can see there's my email address, kbogart@ine.com. You can also follow me via Twitter, and that's a good place for posting questions you might have, as well as just seeing what some new courses are that I have that are coming up. Or if you're interested in attending some of our live boot camps that I teach in person, I also put what's going on there as well. And you can also follow me on LinkedIn. So there's a variety of ways to reach out to me. So that concludes this particular intro here of this course. So in the next video, we're going to start with the topic of why should you use rack rentals in the first place? What is the benefit to you?